Welcome to Natural Living from Moon Lane, where we are joined each month by George Kendal, as he reads from his Countryside Calendar series. And so to the month of July.
July is one of the richest, warmest, most nostalgic months. It's the countryside at full stretch, basking in its own golden abundance. The month arrives with a slow, golden-colored confidence. It doesn't rush in or announce itself loudly. It simply settles over the countryside like a warm hand on the shoulder, steady and reassuring. The days are long, stretching luxuriously from early dawn to late dusk, and the light has a softness to it. A hazy tint that makes even the most ordinary lane feel touched by something timeless. The mornings begin warm and gentle. Sunlight filters through the curtains before most people wake, casting pale gold across the floorboards. Outside, the air is already mild, carrying the scent of dew-damp grass and the faint sweetness of honeysuckle. Birds stir early, blackbirds singing from the tops of hedges, wood pigeons cooing from the trees, swallows chattering as they swoop low over the meadows. The hedgerows are thick and full, their summer growth at its peak. Bramble leaves shine deep green in the sun, and tiny white blackberry flowers dot the tangle of branches, hinting at the fruit to come. Dog roses linger in soft pinks and whites, their petals beginning to fall like confetti along the lanes. On my daily walks, I notice the honeysuckle, as it threads through the hedges in creamy spirals, releasing its perfume in the warm evenings, a scent that feels like childhood summers, long holidays, and slow walks home. The verges are tall now, almost unruly. Grasses rise waist-high in places, their seed heads swaying like soft brushstrokes in the breeze. Meadowsweet blooms in creamy plumes, its scent drifting sweet and heavy across the fields. Purple knapweed, yellow toadflax, and red poppies add splashes of color, creating a wild, unplanned beauty, and the fields shimmer beneath the sun. Wheat stands tall and golden, its heads heavy, and whispering in the breeze. Barley ripples like water, each gust sending waves across the land, and the hayfields lie in neat rows after cutting. The scent of dried grass drifting across the countryside, warm, nostalgic, and unmistakably July. Bales appear across the fields, their shadows long in the late afternoon light. Farm life in July is steady and sun-soaked. Livestock graze lazily in the heat, seeking shade beneath ancient oak trees when the sun climbs high. The cattle are still, the flicking of their tails at flies continue, their movements slow and deliberate. Sheep rest in the cool hollows of the fields, their wool bright against the dry grass. I walk the land early and late, avoiding the midday heat, and watching the sky for signs of storms. And storms do come, dramatic, theatrical, and unforgettable. I see the thunderheads build quietly on the horizon, towering and dark, while the air grows thick and still. Birds fall silent, leaves stop rustling, and the world holds its breath. Then, a crack of thunder, a sudden wind, and rain that falls in warm, heavy sheets, drenching the land in minutes. The scent of petrichor rises, earthy, sweet, electric, and the fields steam gently as the storm passes. Within an hour, the sun returns, bright and unapologetic, as though nothing happened at all. The ponds and streams, shrunk from the heat, now hold water again. Dragonflies skim the surface, their wings flashing blue and green, and water boatmen skate across the shallows, leaving tiny ripples behind them. Frogs hide in the cool mud, emerging only in the evenings when the air softens. The ducks paddle lazily, their movements slow and unhurried. July evenings are some of the most magical of the year. The light lingers, turning the world amber and rose. Shadows stretch long across the fields. Bats darting and flitting silently above the hedgerows cast smaller shadows. Colorful moths drift through the warm air, drawn to the glow of cottage windows. And the scent of warm earth, cut hay, and honeysuckle hangs in the dusk, like a memory you can breathe in. As night settles, the countryside hums with quiet life. Crickets chirp in the long grass, and owls call from the woodland edges. The sky deepens into a velvet blue, scattered with stars that seem sharper, brighter, closer in the warm summer air. July is the month of fullness. It is the countryside at its most generous, warm, abundant, humming with life. It teaches us to slow down, to savor, and to breathe deeply.
Thank you to George and his countryside calendar episode. As the last rays of sunset settle, we arrive at the end of the month, laden with its blessings. Thank you for watching. I'd really appreciate if you could like and subscribe. And please join me next month for the following episode of Countryside Calendar from George Kendal.